Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is my first tutorial video and I'm excited to share it with you. Today, we'll be creating this video using Create Studio 3.0. Let's dive right in. First, we need to create a new project. Set the resolution to 1920 by 1080 pixels to ensure a high-quality output. Go to the Studio menu and click on Backgrounds. Search for the beach background. Select it and drag it onto the timeline layers. Next, find the cafe background and drop it directly above the beach background layer. Since we want the camera to pan smoothly from one scene to another, we need to position these two backgrounds side by side. To do this, reduce the width of the cafe background by half. This ensures that the two scenes are aligned correctly. Now let's edit the beach background. Open the beach background scene group by double-clicking on it. Inside the group, select all the layers and reduce their size by 50%. Once done, duplicate this group and place the duplicate right next to the original image to extend the scene. To merge these two images seamlessly, we'll create shapes using the pen tool. Follow along as I demonstrate how to create smooth transitions between the two images. If you prefer, you can create and import this wide image using tools like Illustrator or Photoshop. However, for this tutorial, we'll design it directly in Create Studio. If the point isn't snapping, click on the grid option as shown in the video and enable Snap to Object and Snap to Border. You can remove unwanted objects by using shapes like rectangles, circles, or squares as shown in the video. The use of layers in Create Studio is similar to Photoshop. For example, the blue sky layer should be at the bottom. The clouds layer goes above the sky. Follow this sequence to ensure the layers are organized correctly. Once done, you'll have a wide, seamless image ready to use in your video. Generally, I create the entire scene inside Create Studio using the pen tool or shapes. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm using ready-made backgrounds which are pixel formatted. If you want high-quality work, I recommend using Illustrator or designing the entire scene inside Create Studio. Use the picker tool to get your desired color. Since the beach scene was duplicated, we need to remove one of the suns, as shown in the video. Now we will create a coconut tree with the help of the pen tool. Then we will animate it. Trace the image with the help of the pen tool and give the desired color using the picker tool. Place the anchor points of all the leaves at the bottom end so that they can be animated. Use shapes and the pen tool to create the desired shapes. Due to video length constraints, I am fast-forwarding this part of the video. The anchor point option is located on the right side in Properties. When selected, a pointer appears in the viewport, allowing you to adjust it manually. Always name your layers. In this small project, I only named the tree groups, but for larger projects, naming layers is crucial for organization. Place this finished tree below the next green grass layer. Copy a duplicate of the tree, modify the duplicate to match the shape of the tree in the image, and position it above the original tree. In front of those two trees, create a green grass shape using the pen tool, give it the appropriate color, and place that layer above those two trees. Finally, remove any visible parts behind the tree using the pen tool. For example, create a mountain shape, fill it with the same color using the picker tool, and place it behind the grass and trees. Then remove unnecessary parts as I am demonstrating in the video. Curves in Create Studio are used to create shapes, similar to other 2D software. To add a blank layer between two existing layers, right-click between them and select Add Track Below or Add Track Above. This creates a new blank track, allowing you to draw and adjust the layer arrangement within your project, just like in other 2D software. Always remember to click on the Exit Pen tool option once you've finished creating your path. Additionally, when you select a connected shape, the path will automatically close, ensuring that your shapes are properly completed and connected without any gaps. This simple step helps maintain the flow and accuracy of your design. Remove unwanted elements in the same way. We will get the desired image. Now let's come out of this group and work on the cafe scene. Ungroup the cafe scene so that we can place the characters. Match the cafe scene's timeline to the beach scene. First, duplicate the beach scene and create a blank layer below the bench layer. Next, create a rectangle and position it as shown in the video. We want to round the top corners of the rectangle. To do this, left-click and hold the corner pin, then drag it inward to create rounded corners. However, we need the lower corners to remain sharp. To achieve this, press Shift, then left-click and drag the lower corner pin outward. This will keep the lower corners sharp. Repeat this step for both lower corners. Now place this rectangle layer within the blank layer you created. Duplicate the rectangle layer, then select both the beach scene and the rectangle, right-click and select Mask. Next, select the duplicated rectangle, remove the fill and decrease the border thickness. Fill the border with a light color as shown in the video to add depth to the scene. Adjust the border size of the duplicated rectangle. Place the cafe logo on the table and create a pillar between the two scenes to complete the setup, just as shown in the video. Now click on Characters in the studio and find the character named Girl. Drag her into the layers. Select her layer and let's change her action. When you click on Wave, the action panel will open on the left side. From there, choose the action, Sitting with Apple. Now let's place the girl character under the table layer and adjust her scale. Position her so she looks like she's sitting comfortably on the chair. Next, drag the Indian man character onto the layers. Feel free to choose any characters you prefer for your scene. Flip the Indian man character using the option at the bottom of the Properties panel on the right side. Then place him under the table layer, adjust his scale, and position him so he's sitting on the chair as well. Find the baby character and drag it to the layers. Adjust its scale appropriately and place it in the beach scene as shown in the video. Then drag the beach girl character from the Characters panel to the layers and position her in the beach scene according to the video demonstration. In the Effects and Components menu, drag the camera from the Components section directly into the viewport. You'll see the camera icon appear on the timeline. Right-click the icon and select Add Animation as shown in the video. This will create the camera. When you select a camera, 4 corner handles will appear in the viewport. You can click and drag these handles to adjust the camera angle. To set up the zoom in and zoom out effect, first select the camera and place the timeline slider at the beginning of the camera animation. Then grab one of the corner handles in the viewport and drag it inward. Now move the slider to the end of the camera animation and you'll notice the handles return to their default position. Play the animation to see the zoom effect in action. Adjust the handles according to our layout. Next, create another camera next to the first one. To create a panning effect, start by selecting the second camera. Move the timeline slider to the end of the second camera's animation. Then in the viewport, select the camera and reposition it to the right side, focusing on the beach scene as demonstrated in the video. This will create a smooth panning motion for the camera. Reposition both cameras to the right side of the timeline. This adjustment ensures that the camera animation doesn't start at the very beginning, allowing for a more controlled and intentional animation sequence. Now, select both the beach girl and baby characters, and align them with the starting point of camera 2 to ensure their positioning matches the beginning of the camera's animation. Assign the phone call animation to the beach girl character. To do this, select the beach girl, navigate to the settings, click on Add Action and choose the phone call animation. Next, add another animation by selecting pointing. Both animations will be added sequentially, one following the other. Just as we added animations to the beach girl character, let's add animations to the baby character as well. Begin by selecting the baby character, then go to Settings and click on Add Action. Assign the first animation, catching, followed by the second animation, crawling. To animate the baby character, right-click on the baby layer and select Add Animation. In the Properties panel, choose Position and then go to the Easing tab and select Linear. This will add 2 keyframes to the baby layer. Adjust the animation by moving the keyframes as demonstrated in the video to create the desired motion. Add a happy animation to the beach girl character. When a third animation is added to the beach girl, the total animation length will increase and align with the length of the baby character's layer. This ensures that both characters' animations remain synchronized, creating a cohesive sequence. Ensure that the lengths of all layers are adjusted to match, as demonstrated in the video. Our video is now almost ready. Go ahead and play the video to review it. Enhance the video with sound effects like bird sound or beach ambience to make it more engaging and lively. Now go to the group containing the beach layer, click on the background and locate the beach scene. Then drag the beach scene into the layers as shown in the video. Ungroup the scene and delete all layers except the boat and cloud layers. Next, right-click below the coconut tree layer to create 2 blank layers, one for the boat layer and one for the cloud layer. Place the boat layer into the designated blank layer, adjust its position and match the proportions as demonstrated. Now let's animate the boat layer. Right-click on the boat layer and select Add Animation. Then choose Position from the Properties and select Linear from the Easing options. Place the second keyframe at the end of the layer and animate the boat layer as demonstrated in the video. Select the cloud layer and position it below the boat layer. Apply the same animation to the cloud layer as you did for the boat layer. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate this here due to the video length constraints. However, you can follow the steps shown earlier for the boat layer to apply it to the cloud layer. You can adjust the animation speed, proportion, and placement according to your preferences to achieve the desired effect. Experiment with these settings to get the best result for your project. Let's add shadows to the characters on the beach. Duplicate the baby layer, scale the lower one as shown in the video, and apply the inner shadow and blur filters from Effects and Components. Adjust the blur, set the blend mode to darken, and reduce the opacity to achieve a natural shadow effect. Apply the shadow to the beach girl character the same way. Duplicate the layer, scale the lower layer and add the inner shadow filter. Adjust the blur, set the blend mode to darken, and tweak the opacity as needed. To animate the leaves of the coconut tree, first open the tree group and select a leaf. Add keyframes starting from the second camera. Right-click, select Rotation from the Properties and choose Linear from the Easing options. Animate the leaf as demonstrated in the video. Apply the same animation to all the leaves, staggering the keyframes to create visible variation. And that's it. Now go ahead and export the video. Feel free to add more elements to make it even more engaging. I hope you enjoyed this, my first video. I'll be uploading more tutorials on Create Studio as well as Blender here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video.